Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of 0 to 60. Today I'm going to finally get my hands onto the alternator on the E60 M5, the lovely V10 with the, well, it's an S85. Yeah, so basically this car, it's probably about 4 months ago now, and you probably can't see me, about 4 months ago, yeah, got the charging light up on the dash, and unfortunately we just kept driving it, and then the next day it actually stopped, and obviously it's not charging anymore. Now the alternator on these engines is right there, so it's not too bad when you've got it up in the air or if you're on jack stands, etc. However, to actually remove the entire alternator, you do have to remove, this is some sort of Vanos pump, I think, or is it power steering, and you've got to remove all of this stuff. You've got to take the fan shroud out. It's a bit of a, there's a lot of stuff you do need to get out of the way just to get the alternator out, and I reckon it's probably not going to be the actual, well, it sounds fine. The alternator isn't making any funny noises. There's no bearing grinding or anything like that. It just doesn't charge. So I'm hoping it's probably an issue with the regulator. So I'm going to try and get the regulator off, and I'm optimistic that it's even just the brushes. So I'm hoping we can even just change the brushes. Anyway, I'm going to have a crack at getting the regulator off without taking the alternator out. And the plan is remove the sway bar, and I'm hoping I'll be able to get up in there, hopefully, and get the regulator off, because the regulator, this is actually a 335 alternator, but it's basically the same thing. So I need to get this plastic cover off, and then I should be able to access the reg. All right, I'm just gonna crack on, and I'll give you an update once I've sort of worked out what I'm doing. Cheers. It's a warm one today. All right, so we have got the sway bar down. It was just, 13mm nut at the bottom, 13mm bolt at the top, and we did have to undo all of the, I assume it's a power steering cooler line. Yeah, it is power steering lines. And that basically just slid down out of the way. It was easier to remove the mounts off of the sway bar, and then it would basically just come down out of the way, otherwise it would catch the front of the sump. Anyway, that's given us access to the alternator. Hopefully you can see it up there, maybe through, not really through there, but I'm going to try and access it basically through this hole. Now, it does look different to what I've seen online. It looks like it's got probably a 15 or a 16mm nut holding the main power wire on, and then what looks like a clip at the top, but there is also that heat shield there that you can see I've got some fingerprints on where I was touching it. All right, I'm going to get the main power wire off first, and then we'll try and get onto that clip at the top. Yeah, I'm thinking it's like this. We've got a bolt-on power wire. Well, probably not a good angle here, but we've got the bolt-on power wire and then a clip like that, but they're just on the back of the M5 one. I'll update you again soon. All right, so that is the main power wire, the charge wire, and also the, I guess it's a signal wire. Now the plug to undo the signal wire was quite easy. I might have to, how can we do it? Basically my left arm went up through that gap there, and then my right hand went up the back, and I could actually push the tab down. Hopefully you can see this, but push this tab down with my left hand and then pull the clip off with my right, and there was plenty of room against that heat shield. So that wasn't too bad. Now I've just got to find all of the Torx bolts, or I assume they're Torx bolts, can't actually see them, and undo that black cover. Yeah, you see on this one we have 1, 2, 3 that hold this cover on, so I'm assuming it's the same on the M5. I might try and bring up a picture. Yeah, I'll try and bring up a picture so I'm not just having a stab in the dark. Alright, so have the cover off. It doesn't actually have Torx bits like the 335, it just pops off. It looks like it clips onto these like studdy things. Now I've undone these two bolts and that stud, which I think are all that hold the regulator on, so if I'm lucky I should be able to go up and pull the, yep, you guys probably can't see, but the regulator has come off. Here it is. Somehow we have managed to get the reg off. Right, so this might be the interesting part. How bad do the bushes look? Okay, I need to have a quick look off camera. Okay guys, so I did just pull this cap off and I managed to break the cap, but that's not too crucial. That cap, when you actually get these new, it comes in a locked position which keeps the brushes pushed down, but I wanted to have a look at the top face on the brushes. I'll just take it off again, but yeah, you basically just push the brushes down, you can slide that cap off. So the brushes, I'll try and take a photo with my phone as well. They're actually still got a fair bit of meat on them. Mark, when we did the regulator on his alternator from his E90, the back brush was completely gone, where these still have a fair bit of meat on them. So I'm guessing it's not the brushes, although I'm not really sure. I haven't had a lot to do with regulators. I replaced one on my old X5, but I was trying to be cheap this time because you kind of have to be. And I didn't want to buy another one. And the M5 regulators are a bit hard to get a hold of. Well, hard to get hold of in Australia anyway. So I'm not really sure. I mean, it could be something with the actual alternator that's wrong, although it's very hard to tell. And it is, I mean, these are the only, apart from there, that's just windings really, isn't it? There's no real electrical components in an alternator apart from the reg. The reg is what converts all the charged AC current into DC. I wonder if I could put I might put a multimeter on it and just see if we've got continuity between the brushes and the pins. That's probably a good place to start. Alright, so I've just got the meter set to something on resistance, and at least it should give us a beep if they are still connected. So I'll connect to that pin. So that one is connecting to that brush. Okay, hang on. No, so that brush isn't. What is that brush connecting to? So that brush, I'm basically just poking all of the open bits of metal, and it appears the bottom brush, I don't know what it does, again, never really done anything with an alternator. The bottom brush doesn't seem to connect to anything. Interesting. Well, it's looking more likely like we're going to have to replace this reg. Yeah, the top brush does. This bottom brush has this silicone on it. Since it's looking more likely like we're going to replace it, I might just unsolder that. And do I want to unsolder it? Oh, I don't know. I'm really not sure. I feel like, I wonder if there's a chance the brush is broken on the inside. Wouldn't that be nice? Give me a second. Alright guys, so I'm pretty confident this reg's going to be toast. So let's just take it apart. What I'm going to try and do is take the bushes out. No idea what I'm doing here, but it looks like there's a big lump of solder that we need to melt. So I'll see if we can get it to melt and then pull the bush out from the back. Alright, so I've just moved it around a little bit. I didn't really know what I was going to do. I thought there might be like a load of solder at the bottom that you can melt and then it'll all fall out the back, but that's not the case. When you replace the brushes, you basically just drill through the top of the brush all the way through to the bottom, and then you get the spring out of the top. Obviously the brush will be gone, and then with the new one you just poke the new brush down through and then solder it on into the hole that you've just drilled in. Now I started taking this apart because I was thinking maybe there was a break internally because we weren't getting any conductivity on that brush. But if I go like that, the brush is definitely still connected. So it must have to be on for there to be conductivity between that brush and anywhere else on the reg, which makes sense. It's got to have some componentry doing something inside, diodes or whatever, converting the AC. Making electricity only pass one way or something. I don't know. But it looks like we're going to have to get another reg, or at least try another reg first. Like you can see the brushes are fairly worn down. They'll be probably 3/4 of the way worn down from fresh ones that might stick out to about here. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to try and get another reg, I think. So yeah, hopefully you saw when we got this car out of the covers the other day, I was hoping to take it to roll racing, which is why I wanted to try and repair this reg instead of buying a new one, because I can't find these in Australia. If you are in Australia and you know where to get one of these Valeo regs for the M5, please let me know. These alternators were only used on the S85s and also the 335Ds, which we never got the 335Ds in Australia, which is why I think these are going to be a bit hard to get. I can get one out of the States for a good price actually, but I won't get it in time for rolls next week. So yeah, if you can help, let us know in the comments below. If not, I think if I can't find anything in Australia by Monday lunchtime, I'll just try and get one from the States, and there's a small chance we'll sneak in, maybe. But it's looking pretty slim. Not the end of the world though. But I do want to see if we can, yeah, basically get the alternator charging again without replacing the whole thing. I'm pretty confident it's going to be the Breg. Anyway, another video. Learning how to fix BMW stuff. Yeah, again, if you know where to get one in Australia, let us know. If not, appreciate you watching anyway. And we'll have an update on this car sometime next week with which way I go with the Reg. Thanks very much for watching, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.